Right, I'm Christian. I'm going to teach you guys how to M80 today. First off, an M80 is what a non-freestyler would call a classic kickflip to fake it. Right? Freestylers will just call it an M80, or if you're trying to explain it to a beginner freestyle, kickflip to fake it pivot. It's a really fun trick. Slightly less beginner because it requires you to have kickflips down and have a pretty good knowledge of your board, but it's a really fun trick. And if you've got kickflips down, kickflips to fakie, stuff like that, fakie kickflips, and you're looking for the next variation to try, definitely check out the M80. It's a really fun trick and I'm sure you'll like it. So here's the thing. The way the M80 works is once you get the board flipping, you have to switch your feet in mid-air because both of your feet are actually pointing forward. And so it's more, instead of bringing your left foot forward, it's bringing your right foot forward. And then when you land, having your right foot land first on the nose, so it pressures it downward, and having your right foot land a little bit further down than your back foot, which means you're catching the pivot. Now, it's a lot easier to get the pivot if your shoulders are pointing in the direction you're traveling instead of to the left if you're regular. Because it just is, your body will naturally want to revert back to its regular position, and so the pivot comes a lot easier. So the way I do this is, once I've set up my feet for a regular kickflip, centered in the board, maybe a bit further back, depending on your preference, it doesn't really matter. I pick a spot on the nose, generally maybe an inch above the front bolts, and I stare at that point. It's like giving it a death stare or something. You just stare at it, and that'll keep your shoulders pointing forward in the direction you're going. And it also aids in getting your back foot to land in the correct part of the nose. And so when you're staring at the nose, you start your kickflip. Once the board flips over, you should be staring at the same point but on the other side of your deck. And when the deck is upside down, your right foot should be about, right if you're regular, your back foot should be right about here, ready to catch it, kind of hovering. Timing will naturally come. And so when the deck comes down, you should be landing straight in a fakie pivot. Your forewheel should never touch. You should be landing like this and not like this and then going to the pivot. So after the flip, your right foot is lower than your left. And so I really think that the trick is staring at the nose and keeping your shoulders forward. That's all there is to it, really. The first time you do them, it's going to be really weird, landing, faking, and then pivoting. But it really shouldn't be a problem once you start doing them, getting the hang of them. Your body should naturally just switch back in kind of seesaw motion if your shoulders are pointing forward. And it's really just like a kickflip to fakie, except you're landing with your back foot a bit lower and a bit more forward than your front foot. And so it's a good sign if when you're first learning this, if you're landing in a tailstock kind of thing, because it means your foot position and everything is right. You're just either pushing too hard with your back foot or it's too low. I find really smooth M80s, you catch it with your back foot on the nose, front foot over the back bolts, and pivot. Okay, and something that you should just avoid at all costs, having all four wheels hit when you land. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I'll try to get it and then pivot, and then once I feel comfortable with that, I'll catch the pivot. Don't do that. It's a bad habit to get into. It's a hard habit to break. Just try and land the pivot right from the start. And no matter how much you convince yourself, landing with all four wheels does not look nearly as smooth as landing in the pivot. So I'll show you a couple of my M80s, and hopefully you'll like them and learn a cool trick.